Concussion is a movie that came out back in 2014, starring Will Smith. This movie, I felt that it had potential to be a great movie. There's just something about the screenplay that I felt like it was missing. I felt like the writing could have been so much better. Will Smith, he did the best he could to deliver his performance, and he did do a good job. I'm just not too sold on his accent. I feel that they could have gotten uh, a legit Nigerian actor to play this role. But, because it's Will Smith, he's a big draw. And this is one of those movies where the lead actor carries the movie more than the actual script. So Will Smith did the best he could, but the accent, it wasn't 100% believable in my opinion. You have a movie that goes into the issue of concussion, CTE, the dangers of playing football, because as much as we love football and football is one of the greatest sports in the world, there are consequences, there are repercussions, there are that seriousness of you could have head injuries that can cause you long-term effects in the future. So I like the science of concussion that is implemented in this movie. And you have this doctor, played by Will Smith, who brings the issue of CTE that a lot of these football players go through. And I don't know if the NFL had reached out to Sony about, not mention certain things in the movie. So there could be a factor that this movie, they played it safe and they didn't want to go into deeper issue. One of the things I wish I could have seen, I wish I would have seen a little bit more of Albert Brooks and Alec Baldwin in the movie. They were good, but I wish they could have gotten more screen time or more scenes interacting with Will Smith. So that's one of the things I wish I could have seen in the movie. But it's a solid cast. I remember Will Smith's performance was one of the things that triggered certain people in a sense, because this 2014 was the year that the whole hashtag Oscars So White thing happened, and many people felt that Will Smith got snubbed for Best Actor for the Academy. I disagree. I don't feel that he should have been nominated for Best Actor, and he didn't get nominated. That year there was just a lot of competition, but I didn't feel like he was one of the top 5 best performers in the leading man role. But Concussion, like I said, I feel like it could have been so much better. It had potential to be better. There are some good things. Like I said, I like the science of it. I like the cast. I like the setting as well. You had some humor parts, but it was more serious than humor. I also like the fact that you saw a few cases of players that have suffered CTE in this movie. But it's a serious situation, when we're talking about CTE, concussions, and we have seen players that have suffered through this, and unfortunately, they've lost their lives. I'll mention a few names: Junior Seau, Vincent Jackson. There's a former player. There's a former player that played for the 1985 Chicago Bears team that he passed away due to CTE. I believe it was Dave. I forgot his last name, but it's Dave something. And then you had another member who didn't pass away, but he has suffered years of head trauma. Jim McMahon, who was a quarterback for the 1985 Chicago Bears team. And there's many other players that they're still alive, but once in a blue, like they lose memory about certain things because they played in an era where it was very aggressive, it was very hardcore. The NFL, they've watered down, they've trimmed down a lot of the hits, a lot of the things that you can do nowadays that it was allowed back in the 70s, 80s, etc. But no matter how much they try to protect the players, football is still one of those sports that is very, I'm just going to say that is very dangerous. You know, football, boxing, hockey, no matter how much you try to bring down the rules, there's still going to be parts of the game where you're going to get hit. So whether it's in your head, in your legs, or whatever part of your body, but when it comes to your head, it's going to happen at some point. We try to avoid it. The league is trying to avoid those things. But at the end of the day, those sports are made that way. I just hope that from an NFL standpoint, I hope that we don't lose any more players due to this serious situation. That's why I don't blame anyone that was telling the Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua to, it's not worth it, retire, etc. because of the seriousness of concussion. But he's his own man. Whatever decision, if he wants to continue playing, then that's his decision. But it's been already a few times that he has suffered concussion protocols. But anyway, my review for Concussion from 1 through 5, I'll give this a 3.7 out of 5 stars.